You can kill me, but you will never destroy me. It takes strength to resist the dark side.
Throughout heaven and earth, I alone am the honored one.
Are you kidding? Why the hell should I wait for you?
I know what it's like to try and rebuild a life. I had a bad day too, once.
If you're having nightmares, then welcome to the club. My name's Subaru Natsuki, and I am the Knight of Amelia.
Right now, all I can give you is just death.
It wasn't for you in particular.
You fought 100 men because it's not in your nature to run away.
If you are feeling disheartened, that you are somehow not enough, set your heart ablaze.
Thanks for the love, you motherfucker, Ronnie. I'm starting this one off strong because fuck you, Ronnie. That's why. God, why am I so hot in my own? Why is my mic so hot? I should say I'm not going down that road. Okay, that sounds a little bit better. Anyway, tonight we're talking about how some Irish bitch wants literally any oh wow, he is way early. What the heck? Am I an hour late?
Yo.
The fuck? Anyway, so tonight there is some Irish bitch decided she wants everything censored and also wants to eliminate anonymity for mangaka so that they can be doxxed. What else do we got that I found that's
she should rule the world.
Oh, we have some of the first clips for War of the Rohirrim.
I haven't seen these yet.
Some news about manga and stuff getting banned, some Pow World updates, a very interesting manga, and some Chris Chan memes because
oh god.
Did you see the news?
I did, yeah.
Someone posted this and it is the greatest thing ever. I'm just gonna bring it up right off the bat.
He's rich and autistic as well.
Is that playing audio?
No, barely.
Barely? Interesting.
I wouldn't put that. Don't put that evil on him, Ronnie. He's not that
bad. Basically, it's just Davi's hole.
I've jumped down the rabbit hole.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Out for the rabbit hole. That's internet lore. You want to talk about internet lore? That's internet lore.
Yeah, that legitimately is something else. But I found that meme. I thought it was hilarious doing the whole Dobby's dance. But it's putting it into the context of Chris Chan.
Yeah, right. Don't curse anybody with that evil.
Yeah. I mean, if you really want to know the full autistic insanity that was the Chris Chan saga, there's a guy doing a documentary out there.
Yeah, I mean, It's a Gundam has a lot of videos on it.
Yeah, no, but there's legitimately a dude. You know how Gundam does his autistically explain stuff?
Yeah.
That dude takes it to a whole other level.
Ronnie, he did a lot more than that. That's the worst. That's arguably one of the worst of it. But there's so many things. There's so many things.
Okay.
If you ever receive a random medallion in the mail, don't touch it. You will be cursed. Everyone who's actually touched that shit has been fucking cursed.
Yeah, do not fuck with the Sonichu medallions.
Dude, seriously, iDubbbz touched one and look at him now.
Nick Rekieta.
Nick Rekieta touched one too, yeah. iDubbbz touched one, now he's a cuck. Nick Rekieta touched one, now he's fucking going to jail.
Do you think Destiny touched one because now his sex tape of him blowing Nick Fuentes is out there?
Probably. Probably. Dude, that thing is legitimately, I believe that Chris Chan actually cursed it.
Screw Sukuna's fingers. These are literally the most powerful special grade cursed objects out there.
Yeah, they are. These are legitimate special grade cursed objects. That's not even a joke.
How powerful is the Chris Chan devil?
I don't even want.
Or sorry, the Sonichu devil. I should say that.
The Sonichu devil would definitely give Chainsaw Man a run for his money. And we know what the Chainsaw Devil can do. I don't think you can erase it. I don't think you can erase Sonichu. He's powerful, man.
Yeah, that's some fuckery I don't want to ever contend with.
No, seriously, I would be like, no. Like if I got a random package in the mail and I opened it, I would throw it. Return to sender. Like you're out.
I'm generally not opening anything that
No, I agree, but like you know what I'm saying, a hypothetical
that I didn't order, but like hypothetically, if I did open up something and there was a Sonichu medallion in it, I would be like, I am going to send this to the nearest Catholic church so that they can exorcise this shit and me at the same time. I'm not even Catholic, by the way.
No, I would just call a priest, I think.
A priest? I'm calling the damn Pope, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna need Father Malachi Martin to fucking come back to life and exercise my spirit.
Like, hot damn.
Yeah, that shit is evil. That shit is cursed.
Not how I was planning to start the night off, but
you started it with Chris Chan. So.
Well, let's
might as well dive into it.
Since you're here, I will save going out my usual like autistic anime spiel where like I talk about what rankings and all that for probably later in the night, and we'll just start with news and stuff for now. And talk about some of these topics. So, have you heard anything about how the UN is proposing yet another like bill or whatever to crack down on quote unquote CSEM? Now I have to say that quote unquote because we do have the issue of UN peacekeeping forces running like wild corn rings pretty much.
Yeah. Is it bad that my brain, like, even though I heard the E, I was like, Chainsaw Man. Like, why crack it down on Chainsaw Man?
If this was later in the stream, I'd have no problem saying it because I'm pretty sure once you get over an hour, there's no issue with that stuff. But it's 8 minutes in, and I do not want to be talking about specifically those words. But yeah, CSEM is what they say they want to crack down on. And this is where this comes in. So this chick, female streamer, I said this the other day in like a private Discord call. I think female streamers are one of the worst things to happen to the internet.
Looks like a panda.
She looks like there's not a thought in her head.
What is that makeup, dude? Yo, you know what she looks like? You ever see that meme of like, it's like two chicks from like 2005, and they have like the DC hats on and the Osiris shoes. Like she would definitely wears a DC hat and has Osiris shoes. Which I was like 6.
Looks like she has a pretty extensive collection of manga back there. Looks like My Hero. No, maybe that's not My Hero. Yeah, that's definitely not My Hero, but a lot of manga and anime stuff going on.
I shouldn't go with the looks first. I don't know. Maybe she's a nice lady. I'm assuming not. Though.
Well, just tell me if you can hear what she's saying, because that's kind of the important part.
No. Nope.
Nothing.
Oh my god! Wow, what a panel.
Yeah, that's Don. Okay, so
that just happened in this last episode.
Yeah, if that's the issue, then I figured that was going to happen, but I wanted to try something new tonight. So give me a hot second.
If you have to, you can probably DM it to me, and then I'll share it.
I'm gonna attempt something right now, and this may cause a few hiccups, but I will be right back.
It will be right back.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna have to leave the call to do this.
It's my world now. Well, I don't know what to talk about. I was gonna ask him about something, but I'm gonna
Fuck it, I can't do that. Shit. Never mind. That don't work.
He's back.
Maybe.
Holy shit, dude, it's episode 61. That's wild.
Yeah, I can actually do this. Give me a second. Let's.
Oh. Hello.
Okay. So hopefully this will work because I was using Firefox to try and help with some lag issues, but StreamYards does not cooperate with Firefox. So I'm gonna copy the link
that is
and bring it over here to a Google Chrome tab because and I will try and bring this up. So let's present, share screen, and I believe that has done it. I was in the call the whole time. I have my administrator account as on a separate screen, so I was still in here. It's just I couldn't talk to you through it. So let's see. Does this work?
Apparently, in like
yes
17, he basically mounts her in the middle of the school in front of everyone. Like this anime was banned from Viz Media.
So it wasn't an anime yet.
What?
It wasn't an anime yet.
Yeah. No, but a little bit of context for that scene. They just made it out of a fight, and they were basically having to like stay on top of each other, quote unquote. That's a really weird way to put it. But have you seen episode 9 of Dawn to Dawn?
Yeah. So no, it was.
Yeah, they basically just broke out of Dead Space pretty much and ended up in that position because of the fight that they were in. It's not that he was mounting her; they just happened to fall on top of each other.
Yeah, which happens to like every main character and semi-love interest in every anime. But no, there's a reason why that's what I'm saying, Pilgrim. That's what I'm saying, dude. 2005 DC hat Osiris wearing chick.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like there's a reason why they're dressed the way they are as well. Like
with Okaroon, he literally lost all his clothes in the fight.
Well, yeah, in the fight, all his clothes he loses because of the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to do this without spoiling, but the same thing happens to another character, and then that character and this character are like, well, we're in empty space, but to move faster, we need like I'm taking I'm getting as much fucking air resistance away as possible. Yeah. So yeah, whatever. They're fighting demons and shit. So it's like
they're fighting cryptids and aliens.
Yeah, I'm trying to say this without possibly spoiling it. So that's why.
Well, you can't tell what exactly is going on if I say cryptids and aliens. You're being too spoiler free. Sometimes you got to bring some stuff up.
Yeah, that's true. All right, yeah, they're fighting cryptids and aliens with like freaking crazy ass powers, and everything goes back to normal like literally at the wrong time. Which you would assume, like I thought about that in this episode because everything started in the middle of a school day.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the context around this scene that she is complaining about. So I want to finish this clip up because this spawned a decent controversy early in the week.
It's so weird, and there's so many people that are defending it, and they're saying stuff like, you know what kids are like in high school, that's just, it's just giving a good description of what it was like to be a kid at 16 years old. It's like, just say you like seeing 15-year-old girls naked, you pedophile. As a 29.
First of all, I'm gonna pull the questioners and be really pedantic. That word she just used should only be used for people who have an attraction to prepubescent kids. Okay,
Yeah.
that
Also,
is the definition of that word. Okay, now it's still a problem if you're into minors. I'm not saying that it's not, because I ain't going on no Dr. Disrespect arc here. But there is a huge difference between someone who is and isn't capable of having kids and being sexually attracted to them. Okay.
yeah, and also questioners, also like she's really showing the fact that if she's like denying at all that like this does not happen, like there is not that thinking in high school. Like,
yeah,
she didn't get banged in high school, clearly. It's just like, and she's showing it. You're showing the fact that nobody liked you. That's cool. That's fine. But I'm just saying, like, I know, bro, there was a 15-year-old that was pregnant in my high school, multiple. Like, come on. You can't deny that it happens.
Please tell me it wasn't because of Roman.
No.
Okay, good. Humanity is
serious?
saved.
Are you serious?
Humanity is saved.
You think that would be? No offense to him, but even he knows that wasn't gonna happen.
No.
But there was dude, there was like pregnant chicks all 4 years of my high school, and like no one batted an eye because we're like, yeah, they were just dumb.
Yeah. Continuing on so we can get through this clip.
9-year-old woman, I have no business watching that. And do you know what? It just drives me mad, because this is why I need mangakas to have their pictures on the back of manga, because that is a predator. What age is the dude that wrote Dandadan? The author is Yukinobu Tatsu. Oh, look, he doesn't show his face. I wonder why. What age is he?
Because psychotic fucks like you send death threats to him over the most benign shit. That's why he doesn't show his face. Do you want to know how many death threats Horikoshi got over shipper stuff?
She's not even showing her face with all that fucking makeup on. Like, why don't you take that makeup off? I bet you look completely different. Take the wig off too.
I was gonna say, I bet that hair is a wig.
Yeah, it is. It clearly is.
Most mangakas don't show their face because they want to remain anonymous. I'd want to remain anonymous too if I was writing inappropriate stories about underage children. Bro, 37. He's a 37-year-old man.
It's not even just that. It's not even just. It's popular manga. Like, if it'd be the same thing if freaking Tom Cruise would just go to the grocery store and walk around the street like a normal person. He can't do that. Like you can't have freaking famous people walking around doing shit. Like, you can barely. There's certain YouTubers that can't even walk out of their freaking house. YouTubers remain anonymous too.
No, and I look, like I said, I don't blame these people, because like some fans can be really, really fucking psychotic. Like I said, Horikoshi got death threats when he faked out Bakugo's death.
Yeah, and who was the there was wasn't there like something going on with one of the female mangaka where like they were being stalked like crazy? I forget which one it was, but like that happened, and that happened to freaking what the fuck is his name? Yeah, Pilgrim. We're on the same page.
Yeah. So
but there's been guys that have been stalked by female freaking fans too.
Mhm.
Like, dude, these people underestimate how popular manga is in Japan.
Well, no, they think their little world is the entirety of it, and they don't understand that there are some real sick psychos who do some sick things. Is this why children aren't in stories anymore? Because the author will be called all sorts of stuff, because why are they talking about a 9-year-old? Yeah, pretty much. There's an issue with that. Like, they forget that the primary audience, the target audience for Dandadan is teen boys. Right? They forget that, like, you're not the primary consumer. So,
bro, and 100%, like every teenage guy has at one point been like, "Damn, wish I got to see that chick naked." Like, seriously, like, so they play into that a little bit. Whatever, dude. You have scenes. You have a whole episode in Naruto where the guys are planning how to sneak and look into the girls, like freaking fuck, I just had a brain fart. The hot spring, just to see. They're like 14. That's cool though, because it's funny. Because Rock Lee gets in trouble for it. Like,
yeah. And then Naruto gets blamed for something he didn't even do.
Exactly.
But yeah, it gets even better because Rem Says Des responded to her initial clips of this stuff. Did I say that right? Rev Says Des? Yeah.
I don't know.
And she decided she was going to react to Rev Says Des's response, his breakdown of her bullshit.
Oh my god, wait. That's not the same person?
It is.
Oh, I was gonna say, holy shit.
No, the VTuber icon is the dude doing the you're in for a shock if you've never seen Rev, because his voice is well.
So this pretty much is where it always ends up, right? So it begins with, I don't like this anime and manga, blah, 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 blah. And then it turns into, well, I mean, what else do you call it? Racism. They're basically trying to imply that the entire nation of Japan is so predatory that no woman is safe in that country. And
this is actually crazy that I'm being called a racist for this. And I'm being called a racist for highlighting predatory facts that happen in Japan. Is it not truth that in Japan there are trains for women to ride just with other women because of the sexual crimes that have happened so often on train journeys? Yes, it is a non-disputable fact. It's not racist. And to call it racist is to put me behind a wall and to belittle Japanese women and the struggle that they go through on a daily basis. And, you know, since you don't like to come with facts, Rev, I've come with facts. This is an article from Japan. I came with receipts. Since obviously you don't have to take my word for this, I translated it over on Google Images, and this is what it says, because 40% of victims.
First of all, Google Translate is fucking awful. Let me tell you, as someone who has tried to learn 2 different languages, Google Translate sucks ass.
I'll tell you right now, as somebody who took a college course in Japanese, Google Translate doesn't work, and it only makes you look like an idiot in front of the entire class. So don't use it.
Yeah. And as far as what the questioners and Pilgrim are saying about the facts here, we're actually I can back this up afterwards. I can show you she got community noted.
Yeah, and also that was definitely a wig beforehand, because look at her hair now.
Yes. Yes.
They're under the age of 10. 40% of victims in Japan of sexual assault and molestation are under the age of 10. Just let that sink in for a second. So this is another Japanese survey, and it says, survey in Japan finds 1 in 10 young people have suffered molestation offenses. This one is
girls.
from...
That literally doesn't mean just girls in the slightest. How many people in America have suffered that? Let's see. Because I bet you it's a lot higher than 1 in 10.
We're almost done here. We're going to talk about
16 to 29-year-olds. And it breaks down, you know, where it happens. Oh, look. On the train. This is also from Nippon.com, your doorway to Japan. It is a Japanese site. Apparently I'm racist, though, and I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so that was the clip. And now I can back it up. And here is Chibi Reviews bringing in the fucking ratio here. So you implied Japanese men are predatory towards women due to Japan having an optional segregated train carriage for women. Japan is statistically safer than OP's birth country and country of residence, reported annual R word per 100K. Ireland, 21.1. Finland, 32.9. Japan, 1.3. This is the disingenuous fuck that we're dealing with when it comes to supporting UN regulations. Is she Irish? Yes, she definitely is Irish.
I was saying 100% to the other thing the questionnaires said, but
no one cares about young boys. We have seen that throughout modern. Yeah,
100%.
Mm-hmm. So that's the thing is she looks at it only in the best possible like translation of what's going on here. When you look at these UN bills, okay, I'm gonna take this down because we don't particularly need this one right now. There's one more that I will bring up in a bit, but when we talk about this stuff, they forget that this is a thing that has been shot. The UN bill that she that started this whole debacle that she was saying was a good thing. It was shot down before because the definitions of what they qualified as child sexual abuse material were not clear enough. And it would destroy a lot of creative works. I mean, Berserk would probably fall into that. I mean, you're familiar with Guts' backstory enough, right?
Romeo and Juliet would fall into that.
Yeah. All right, I got another one here, but there are certain depictions that I think are absolutely allowable when it comes to fiction. And it's not like this has like promoted any sort of sounds like gun violence statistics. Yes. And that's actually an argument I could like argue off the back of my hand.
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk gun statistics? I will fucking wreck you. Maybe not you guys in the chat, but in general, if you want to argue against me about guns, I guarantee you I know what I'm talking about. But like, it's not even like any of these things have promoted relationships between like adults and minors or anything. In fact,
also, that doesn't really happen in Japan. That's happened like in all Western countries. You have a much older person with a way too young. You'll have a freaking bro. I knew both dudes and girls in like senior year, 17, 18 that were with like 29-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just happens in Western countries. That does not happen in Japan.
So I got another bit of a clip of her to show, and then a author that I follow responding to her. Oh, also, this has community notes with it. So we'll just start with the community note. The United Nations has a history of rampant sexual abuse of women and children, and thus are not a trustworthy organization for the regulation thereof. This is what I've been talking about.
Thank you, Elon.
I love that feature. So the UN doesn't want to censor normal anime. They want to censor child pornography and the exploitation of women, which is fair. The full video is on my YouTube.
The exploitation of men, though, that happens too.
Well, no, I want her to define what she thinks is the exploitation of women. Is it fan service? Like, are we gonna complain about something like I don't know, Mushoku Tensei? Is that the exploitation of women?
Bro, I'm just saying, I bet you she doesn't complain when Liam Hemsworth or Chris Hemsworth has to take his shirt off in every Marvel movie, like where it's actually in their contract that they need a scene where they're shirtless. I'm pretty sure she ain't complaining. Like, and that's real people, but same thing. Like, you ain't complaining if your freaking husbando is taking his shirt off in your favorite fucking anime. You're not complaining. I bet you she's not.
Yeah. So here's the clip that in her argument for this.
Does anyone here watch Asmund? Did you see the video that he put up 2 days ago that has 930k views? The West is forcing Japan to censor all anime. Until 2014, it was legal in Japan to own child pornography.
Factually true, by the way. They did not have CP laws in Japan, and even now, it is only punishable by fine. That's one of the biggest issues with the Rurouni Kenshin author dramas. The guy was convicted of possession of CP, and he was basically charged $2,000 and let go.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. But there is
Pilgrim.
there's more context to that she's completely leaving out.
It was legal. Japan finally bans child pornography. 2014. But in 2024, it's still legal to own anime and manga child pornography. And let me tell you, it is a...
Let me just put it this way. As much as I think that those drawings are degenerate as fuck and I will never participate in them, there is a difference between drawing a completely fictional child and actually using a real child to make that stuff. Okay?
Yeah. There's a very, very.
I disapprove of both, but I disapprove of harming a real child for it much, much more.
I was gonna say I wouldn't even say that's a fine line. That's just a line. That's a wall. That's like you've crossed the territory from a weird being a degenerate piece of shit who really should be looked at closer with a microscope to somebody that's evil and needs to be dealt with.
Yeah. It's like I kind of treat it the same way as furry stuff. If you're going to draw your weird, degenerate furry porn, fine, okay? You're going to go out and fuck an actual animal, now we have a problem, okay?
Yeah, exactly. If you actually get into that shit, then there's a problem.
Anyway.
A booming industry. You can literally go nearly to any massive manga stores and areas in the major cities in Japan, and you will find areas of that manga store that is specifically for Lolita characters. And Lolita, if you don't know what that means, it means young girl. And this is the problem that the UN wants them to address. Honestly, I don't care if the character is over 18. If the character is over 18, I'm just going to be like, cool, yeah.
Okay,
Why do you look like that?
Whatever you're into, man. If you want to look at that, that's cool. But not children. That is so up that this is still legal and it's completely fine for artists to make this kind of content.
You would actually get along really well with the questioners because he is like very much a Lord of the Rings like nut. The guy knows his shit.
Pilgrim are cracking me up because that's all I did was read the first sentence. You can go to Muslim countries and I was like, yeah. I just started laughing already. I was like, yep, exactly. It didn't even matter what the rest of that was.
Yeah.
Just that first sentence answers this question.
Yeah. So again, she's talking about like doujinshi and stuff. She also makes the argument, okay, well, if the character's 18, so then it's not even like there's so much like fucked with the argument that she's making, but particularly the fact that I have the particular fact I have a problem with is I guarantee you she has not put this much fervor behind any sort of push to end real child sex slavery, okay?
No. And I also like I'll bet you money if she goes to a manga store in the closest manga store to her, there will also be that section.
Probably. If you go to like a straight like I mean, well, I don't know, like a normal comic shop, no. I've been to one. And they have manga and stuff, but they don't have like doujinshi and stuff. I think you legitimately have to go to like Japan to find the doujinshi she's speaking about.
Oh, well, she can legitimately like. There's nothing stopping anybody in her country or our country from ordering it on fucking Amazon, I'm sure, and it'll get delivered.
Yeah. So we've discussed this post, and I want to take one step back to talk about Brandon Varnell, a light novelist, doing a little bit of history on this. Article 34 of Japan's Child Welfare Act, applicable since 1947, states that no person shall commit an act listed in any of the following items, with line 6 specifying cause a child to commit an obscene act. Let it be known that the United States did not even have a similar law until 1977, which was the Protection of Children Against Sexual Exploitation Act. So Japan actually had protections against abusing children before the US, before, well, probably a good bit of the modern world. The act of punishment of activities relating to child prostitution and child, yes. I don't know if it matters if I say that because we've covered a lot of fucked up stuff already. And the protection of children came into effect on May 26, 1999. This was another law that outlawed the production, transport, import, and export of wild corn, as well as possession of wild corn for the aforementioned purposes. The penalty of possession with any intent of commercialization, sales, or distribution is a maximum imprisonment with labor for 3 years or a fine of 3 million yen, approximately $30,000. Production or distribution of wild corn is punishable by imprisonment with labor for up to 5 years and a fine of up to 5 million yen, $50,000. The law she is talking about is a loophole in the law that didn't address possession of it. The bill they approved in June 4th, 2014, banned the possession of wild corn. So that is the context that she completely leaves out. And that's pretty much been the theme of several of my talks this week, especially Monday when we basically did that EFAP session of half of a video about Freerin. So really it was just, well, if you possess, they had an issue with people possessing it and it not technically being illegal to possess it. Yeah, Pilgrim, that's a little bit of a fucked up joke. Holy shit.
Dude, yeah.
Holy shit. So I've pretty much made my position on the quote-unquote lolicon clear. I don't like it. It's why I won't watch stuff like Gushing Over Magical Girls, because it's effectively a BDSM series with 14-year-old girls. Yeah. Now, it's animated. No one's actually getting hurt. So it's a different level of wrong from actually going out and taking a child and filming the actual material with a real child.
Okay, so here's a question. An extremely popular isekai, Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
You forget they're 16 and 17 in like the first season because they're married, all this other shit.
Didn't Euphoria air here in the West? And it's all about high schoolers?
Yes, it did, but that's okay because they're edgy and on drugs. But you literally have, like, in part 2 of the first season, like, Asuna is a slave who gets, like, molested quite a few times. And, like, that makes you hate the villain. Because she's 17, so therefore in Japan she's a legal adult. But
yeah,
but like when that villain gets legitimately fucked up, you're like, this is awesome. Hell yeah. Like, but it makes you uncomfortable unless you're fucked up. It makes you uncomfortable. But there's also like a scene, there's a couple scenes throughout that anime where like shit happens. It's a virtual fucking world, so people think they can do whatever they want and get away with it. And that causes some really like traumatic things for the main character and other characters. Like, but I don't look at that and go, it makes you uncomfortable. That's the point of it.
That's what I'm saying is she's talking about how like these laws banning this sort of banning these exploitations, quote unquote, are strictly a good thing, and doesn't realize that a lot of times when these things are brought up, it's because they elicit a very strong reaction from people. And generally, they are dealing with them in a negative light, saying that these are bad things and you should hate the people doing them, i.e. Berserk. Everything that happens to Guts in his childhood. And I keep bringing that one up because Berserk is one that finds controversy like every other month.
Yeah.
They use that stuff because it is supposed to depict this like dark, brutal world where like there are hardly any truly good guys. And like Guts is someone who just gets the worst of it. As a child, like his adopted father hates him and basically sells him to one of the soldiers for a night. And that's what happens there. And it's something that fucks Guts up for like most of his life. Or let's talk about
Well,
I don't know. Let's keep it in the theme of Berserk, like with the eclipse. It's supposed to be a depiction of just how evil the God Hand and Femto are. Like, it is a pure act of spite and vengeance against Guts. Put on Fane and Wheel of Time. Yes, we talked about that quite a bit. Like, these characters do these vile, awful things. You depict that because you want people to know they have no morality. They're evil, like straight up. They do not care. And you take that away just because it makes you feel uncomfortable, or because you think that for some reason having a victim or having a villain, I should say, not a victim, a villain depicted doing villainous evil shit will encourage people to behave that way. I disagree. I think that's a terrible idea, because now you're talking about like seriously censoring artistic expression.
If you want to talk about shit like that, like read Game of Thrones. Like it's worse what happens to, like, Sansa is underage for most of that. They're like, well, it's a medieval world. That would be their argument for that. But it's like, dude, still, you should, if you have a problem with that being in entertainment at all, then you should have a problem with that being in all forms. Like, where do we draw the line? Do we draw the line when in Love is War, he accidentally walks into the girls' locker room and then like gets his ass kicked? Do we draw the line when it's not the main?
Did that happen in Love is
War? Somebody saw what's her name, the pink-haired chick, in her underwear at one point. I think it was I
don't remember that. I do remember everyone walking in on Yui Shigami, but I don't remember.
No,
I don't remember someone seeing Chika in her underwear.
I think Ishigami did. I think it was somebody. I remember at one point one of the characters was. There's a thing about that, but where do we draw the line?
Mm-hmm.
You can't with stuff like that, like, because if you really want to draw the line, then get rid of all of it. Get rid of Romeo and Juliet. Mm-hmm. That's the most extreme one. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, it's the video games cause violence argument.
Yes.
But for anime. Basically, fan service causes sexual abuse, and I'm just like, no, there's literal, like, you cannot prove a link between the two.
Like,
in fact, from what I've seen studying this argument over like the lolicon stuff, is there's actually a negative correlation between that and child abuse.
Yeah.
From the studies that I've seen brought up. I have to what is the word I'm looking for? I have to clarify that those are just things I've seen on the internet. I haven't actually like gone to like research the opposing side or anything, but yeah, it's insane.
Would you draw the line in the documentary, not documentary, but like the movie of like Anne Frank? You draw the line there, like because there's so many different scenes that like within entertainment, like you're not supposed to be a degenerate about. Like,
yes.
If you're thinking, the ones who preach the loudest have the most to hide. That's all I gotta say. At the end of the day.
Yeah, it's again trying to trace the logic behind all of it just makes me think, wow, everyone's just stupid. Shut up, questioners. Shut up.
They're making putting chemicals in the water. They're making the frogs gay.
God. Oh. But yeah, it's again, where is the UN? Where is the UN going to draw the line? Obviously, there are some issues that like you can talk about how it's degenerate and it might not be like something that people should like. But at the end of the day, when it comes to these things, they aren't real people. No one's being harmed about this. So I would rather focus all our attention on protecting actual victims of these things, like real world people who have suffered these things, than complain about an anime that, well, has not inspired, like there is no provable link that it inspired some of this behavior.
And honestly, I've said it before, like when this topic has come up, but like people like this piss me off because I have a family member who's much older than me, and it still affects them to this day when they were in a situation like that. And that was a real kid who is now an adult and is still fucked up.
Yeah,
so,
I have some acquaintances among people like that too. And that's all I really want to say because I technically don't have the permission to get too far into that.
I wouldn't ever
I do understand like how it mess people up, and that's why I am very particular about how people use the P word, okay?
Yes, so.
And what people specifically want to talk about, because if we're talking about like wild corn and stuff, the US is still like the #1 consumer and producer of it.
Yeah.
And I think we also still have a huge sex slavery problem here. Like,
yeah,
it's nobody wants to talk about that. Instead, we're sitting here virtue signaling over cartoons that aren't harming anyone.
Yeah, because
again, if you can point to a specific situation where someone was harmed because of Dandadan, and I'm not talking about chibi reviews because the guy got doxxed over it. I'm talking about it inspired someone to do some vile sexual acts, then maybe we can have a conversation. But for right now, there's no proof that this has inspired anything. The video games make kids violence. Yeah, well, guess what? I grew up playing exclusively Call of Duty and Borderlands, and I am the least violent person you'll probably ever meet. I get loud and aggressive and stuff, but I have a huge aversion to violence.
And also, like, when it comes to something like Dandadan, if you don't like it, don't fucking watch it. I don't like furry shit, so I don't fucking pay attention to it. Like, you don't have to preach about it.
Yeah, like I'm not going to go brigading, gushing over magical girls because I don't personally like it. It's one of those things where I'm just going to, you know what? Fuck it, fine. It's not for me. People want to talk about it all they want, sure, but I don't have any like critical analysis of it other than it repulses me personally.
Yeah, exactly.
But oh man, let's move on from this subject because
let's get back to Chris Chan. That was funnier.
No, we're gonna talk a little bit about Arcane.
I haven't watched the newest DFAP. I don't know what happened.
So this is a comparison of the scenes and how they were censored for China. Right? Don't worry, Pilgrim. That's all we're gonna talk about. That's all we're gonna show. That's all we're gonna show as far as Arcane goes, because this kind of like has shown a light on the fact that localizers are massive fucking hypocrites when it comes to their behavior towards media. So this guy right here is a localizer, animating a de-gayified version just to appease homophobes is so whack. Now we take a step back. Here's the guy's previous tweets from last year. Localization teams do not get nearly enough credit for how much they contribute to your enjoyment of your favorite JRPGs.
Oh my god. Yo, he stepped in it.
Yeah. And it goes to show that as far as localizers go, they don't have standards unless they're double, and they get really really pissed when censorship comes for them. They don't seem to understand that the censorship will inevitably come for them too.
Fucking Ronnie. Why China and Middle East get the good stuff?
God. When your chat is full of trolls.
What would Wakanda forever be? Just nothing? Just
it's just nature shots.
Just nature shots and explosions.
All the black people doing whiteface. I mean, you saw how they removed Finn from the Star Wars posters. And
that's one of my favorite things to bring up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about that a lot on the show.
No, like these corporations, I always think it's funny when people like dick ride these corporations. Like it's supposed to be some they're supposedly some great big allies, and then they turn around and do this just for the audience. Corporations have no soul. Like, that's why I try not to be a big fan of any particular corporation or anything, because, well, we've talked about how much I fucking hate Sony, and we've talked about how much I do not like localizers. Now, to be like a bit on the fair side, some localizers do good jobs. Okay, in fact, I think a lot of what we have a problem with localizers is just would be, even if it's not like a small minority, less than half of them are the problem. The issue is they're really, really annoying.
Well, I mean, I can come up with like a good example. It's just a good example of like something recent. Bleach is doing pretty good, and like the localization for Bleach has been pretty great. I mean, the newest episodes aren't out for like this season, but they're not changing the dialogue. The dialogue's been the same, and like largely the dialogue has been the same except for that one line that Kuretsuchi has made. Everything else has been the same except for that one line of Mayuri in season 2 of the Blood War. And everything else has been like direct. And in fact, like there's parts where they add in a little bit more just for better context and to make it make more sense in English. But other than that, like they're doing a pretty damn good job with it. Like they're taking direct lines from the manga and putting them in there. So they're doing a good job, but there's also other ones like Chainsaw Man has some drastically different like localizations, I guess you could say, in season 1.
Yeah, no kidding. I accidentally loaded that into the wrong tab. I'm trying to queue up the next little thing to talk about, which is something that's a little bit more in your wheelhouse than mine. That is the wrong computer to be presenting on.
No.
So you want to talk about a little bit of Lord of the Rings?
Oh, yes. I love to talk about Lord of the Rings.
This will be the second time this week that I've talked a little bit of Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings?
Have you seen this?
No, not yet. I'm sure I'll love it. I can tell right now that I'm gonna really enjoy this.
Just completely ignore, like, just from a writing perspective, there are so many things wrong with this scene.
There's so many things wrong with this thumbnail, and the fact that she has a sword and a shield is the main one.
This isn't even a thumbnail. This is actually like in the clip, so I can literally just.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying this screenshot right here is already everything wrong with this movie.
Well, I what I'm talking about is mechanically. There are some things that I like immediately noticed that prove that the writers were backed into a corner and didn't know how to get themselves out.
As it began with you and I
just got to point out that the facial animation there kind of sucks, actually.
Bro, her mouth is the only thing moving.
Yeah.
If I best you in combat, you let my people.
Holy shit, she's almost completely static.
Dude, what was that? Hold on. Go back. What was that? That was like those AI memes where you see where it's like a picture of like it'll be like Crimson's face, but only his mouth is moving to like say something. That's what this is.
So as far as it looks really choppy, that might just be the fact that I'm using Twitter as a player and going through like 3 layers of share software.
It looks fine. Doesn't look choppy to me.
Yeah, as far as that goes, I can understand like later on it does start to look choppy. It does not like even begin to approach like Jujutsu Kaisen levels of like smooth when it comes to animation.
What the hell is this?
No, it's that better. Yeah, no, later on it'll look a whole lot more choppy, especially when things start to move.
People go.
Why would I agree to such terms? You have nothing to offer me.
You may wear a crown upon your head, but that does not make you a king.
So right there, mechanically, that is one of the big issues I noticed with this scene, and it gives me zero faith in the writers. I believe the character's name is Wolf. Questions her, why should I fight you? What do you have to offer me? And she dodges the question. She ignores it.
Yeah.
She doesn't even make a counter offer to tempt him into it. She continues to try and antagonize him into it. This is being done by the studio that did Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, but like, what? As much as like King's Advisors likes to say, "Oh, it's only like 4 pages." Yeah, like she's mentioned in one sentence. There is a full story. There is a full story in the appendices of this. There is extended parts of that 4-page arc. Which he's my friend. I'm not calling him out. I'm just saying, like, whenever I bring this up, he's like, well, it's only 4 pages. Yeah, there's more. There's a lot more to Helm Hammerhand in the appendices.
That's true, Ronnie. That's true.
Yeah, it's true. But
Pilgrim sent me that earlier. And I was like, what?
But this is like so wrong. This is like the least on like it's an easy story to tell and it's a really badass one and you can have her have more of a role. But this is not the way to do it.
Yeah. But it's going to get worse, in my opinion, as far as the writing goes.
You were too much of a coward to face my father. So face me now.
Again, she still has not said what he gains from fighting her.
The voice acting is not great either.
It's not the worst dub I've ever heard.
No, it's not that good either.
I was gonna say it's not Ian Sinclair in Love Is War good, but it's also not English Deku bad.
Yeah, but it's also like this is literally any powerful woman with a British accent. That is this. But you will face me now because I say the thing and I am empowered. Like,
yeah, there's no emotion or passion behind the way she delivers her lines.
Yeah, Pilgrim, I agree.
Yeah, I was honest. I might still watch it just to totally review it.
I'm reviewing it. I'm reviewing it 100%.
Yeah. That comes out in 2 weeks, doesn't it?
Yeah, I actually kind of want the popcorn bucket because it's just a big ass hammer.
It's That's probably I'll probably watch up until Helm's no longer in the movie and then just fuck off. Just call it there, right?
No, I'm gonna watch the whole thing, dude. I have to. They're gonna.
Okay.
They're gonna
I guarantee you, they're not even gonna show the best parts. He's gonna get 20 minutes of the movie tops, and it's gonna be And the rest of it is all just going to be like her doing her thing while Helm is actually doing like the badass stuff people want to see, like off in the background somewhere.
But like they're not going to show his night raid on the forces outside of Helm's Deep. Like I bet you that'll be he'll go out there, and then something will happen inside the keep, and it's nighttime, and everyone's talking, and then when they wake in the morning, he'll be standing there in the snow. Like they're not going to show. And if they do, I'll be surprised. They're going to take his most badass parts and they're going to be off screen.
Yeah.
The girl is clever. She is up to something. Do not take the bait.
I accept your challenge.
Right there. There is no logic in anything that just happened there.
Also, they
want to make it seem like she's clever for like egging him on or whatever, but it doesn't make her look clever. It just makes him look retarded. Like he has a guy sitting here like pouring cold water on it, like she's just taunting you. You don't need to fight this. We can just, pull back and we can kill her and we win. But no, he's got to go fight because they need the strong woman to.
He has to go fight because the plot demands it.
Mm-hmm. And the funniest part is, like, if I remember correctly from looking into the story, she doesn't even like get the throne of Rohan. Like,
no,
her cousin does.
Yeah, she doesn't get the throne of Rohan. Her cousin does, and she doesn't. She's not in it. She's not in this story. She's not there. She stays home. She's in Edoras. Nothing happens. She's literally like the catalyst, and that's it. It's like, no, you're not marrying my daughter. I killed your father. And then Wolf's like, all right, we're going to war. And then Helm's like, all right, daughter, you stay here. I'm going to war. And that's it. Yo, questioners, honestly, that's going to happen because Gandalf found his fucking staff in a pile of rubble. So, in Rings of Power Season 2. So, I'm really not that surprised. He got his name because they thought his name was... They're like, he's a really grand elf. He's a grand old elf, isn't he?
I need to find a Gand.
Yeah. Fuck you. Get real.
You think I am afraid of you?
You should be.
Why? Why?
Princess Mononoke had better animation than that.
Princess Mononoke has way better animation. I love that movie.
It's fucking great.
Wait, yeah, her cousin is the ancestor of Theoden.
Yes, that's kind of what that implies. But yeah, it's like,
dude,
how
I was
badly.
If
like,
I was like, sorry, I'm talking to questioners for a second. Like, because she knows how to wrist flick a sword. It's like, yeah, dude, if I'm standing there and this chick rolls up on a horse and I have like all these fucking guys behind me on this army and I'm the king and she's like, you should fear me. And they're like, bro, don't. And
I would be like, hey, Spearman, get over here. She's
yeah,
gonna charge
like,
straight at us.
Like,
get ready to kill her and the horse at the same time.
Yeah, how about all of you just kill her? Like, I don't have anything to prove here. I'm in charge. I've won. Helm's dead. I'm ruling this. She's just here to be annoying. Kill her or capture her. I don't care. Just do something with her. Fucking throw her off a cliff. I don't give a fuck.
Now, there is a slim chance
feed her
that
the horses.
they somehow loop this around to being more faithful to canon, and like she loses this fight and everything, and then like everything else that canonically happened according to Tolkien happens, right? Helm's nephew comes in and does all that stuff. I doubt it'll happen, but I do have to be fair and say it's a possibility.
Dude, Rings of Power, though. There's no looping that around. Like, they don't... And I'm honestly, you know what? I was hyped for this, and I had faith in the producer, Philippa Boyens, who was a very huge part of the Peter Jackson films.
Mm-hmm.
I'm disappointed in you, Philippa.
Yeah, that I was really excited when I saw who was attached to this, and then the more and more I read about it, the more like I saw footage of it and
The question
listened
is,
to what people were saying. Yeah, the more I lost faith in the product.
The question is, I have not seen that interview. I think I might have with Philippa, but if you can send that to me somehow, like I'll find a way. But if I can get that, I will go over it on the podcast this week on Wednesday, because I got to talk about all of this. And Nerdronic has already seen it, and he's like, "Yeah, he's seen the whole thing." And he said that he was like, "Yo, literally everything you're thinking about this movie is true." He's like, "I hate to say it."
Yeah, the questioners, he is Rolo Lord in the I believe you're Rolo Lord in the Week's Wife's Discord. So he should be in there. You should be able to find him through that if you want to send him.
I think my picture is the Rolo Films picture that I have in chat. It might be sometimes it's Ichigo. But that's also my Xbox One, so I get confused. But yeah, if you can add me, I will friend you back, and I will go over that in great detail on the podcast on Wednesday, because I have a lot to talk about with this.
Yep. Okay, so we've talked about all the things that have pained us tonight. So from here on out, it's all gonna be uphill. Okay. We're going to talk about some good stuff, and then we're going to talk about like just the anime this week, especially Dandadan and Bleach.
Oh my god, I can't wait to talk about Bleach. Can't wait.
I'm just saying, out of this core, this is probably my favorite episode I've seen.
It's so good.
We're gonna talk a little bit about an upcoming production from the creator of Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. So, Shinichiro Watanabe first approached Chad Stahelski's team, the John Wick series director, only looking for tips on how to create action scenes like them for Lazarus. With Chad's response was, "Leave it to us. We'll do the choreography for you." So, Cowboy Bebop with John Wick choreography is what we're looking at here.
That sounds spectacular.
However, Watanabe was worried about the Hollywood level costs, to which Chad simply replied, "Don't worry about the costs. Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo have inspired me for years. Let me do this for you."
Yeah, Samurai Champloo has some really amazing like choreography.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the coolest things in that show too, the wind sword.
I still have yet to watch it, but I have watched Cowboy Bebop. I'm a huge fan. I've seen the movie like 3 times at this point within the last year, because I watched it once and then I made my parents watch it with me. And then I went to the theaters when they re-released it to watch it again.
Hold on. Sorry. I'm like, why do I have so many freaking Discord emotes? I just wanted to give a thumbs up. Jesus Christ. All right, questioners. I see your messages. That's what I'm going to do, because I can't even fucking find them. Holy shit.
Yeah. But yeah, so Lazarus by the creator of by Shinichiro Watanabe. This is one that I'm really looking forward to, because, well, one, this guy's created 2 really good anime. If you weren't a mod, I would fucking ban you.
Oh my god,
Pilgrim, for that comment.
Yeah, Pilgrim. They made Jet Black literally a dark black guy.
So yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Lazarus, because it's one that I think has like high potential to be a great anime.
You should watch Shampoo. It's one season just as well as Cowboy Bebop.
Well, first I need to finish all of Tokyo Ghoul because I want to do December fictionology on Tokyo Ghoul.
Hell yeah!
But I will eventually get around to Samurai Champloo because I know Daimyo's talked about it. It's one of the few anime he's watched.
It's got some really good choreography. The sword fighting is great. And it's literally just I think it's Edo period. It's just an Edo period, like, samurai like show. It's good. There's no like magic or anything like that. It's just
nice.
It's cool.
I guess we don't really need to talk about some of these other smaller topics. I have some funny ones, like some more weird manga that I found. What was it? Never mind. We'll leave that for another time. I don't need to talk about that again. We can close that out. I guess save that. And I guess let's switch it over to talking about some anime weekly stuff.
Hell yeah.
So stop screen share, present, share screen, window. Unfortunately, this is through Firefox, so
fuck ton of clicking.
Yeah, I have to click. So this is pretty much where I left off last week. With the anime and stuff that I've watched. Now, I will come right out the gate and say I did not watch all the stuff on this list this week. I did not catch up on Ranma and a half, or I'm an episode behind on Blue Box. I'm 2 episodes behind on, and I still have not caught up on Demon Lord 2099, even though I do think it is a sleeper anime this season. So we are going to start off with I had my notes pulled up and I was ready to do this early in the show, but Rolo showed up and I wanted to get through the news and stuff because I knew there was going to be a lot of stuff in here he hasn't watched.
Yes.
Like a lot.
Yeah, like all of it except for 2.
Pretty much. So let's start with how about we just start with Dandadan, talking about that Dandadan episode. Because I mean, like it goes back to like the high speed, like high stakes, goofy antics that I really, really love the series for.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, like animation wise, again, I love that they made the references to Shin Godzilla with the kaiju quote unquote that they have.
Yeah, they did. That was good because it kind of did have that face of Shin Godzilla.
Well, not just like that, but like the specifically like the beam attack that it does. That was the previous episode where they made that reference. But yeah, I like that.
I like the mantis shrimp stuff too.
The mantis shrimp stuff. Yeah, Dandadan is great for all the like goofy ideas that it incorporates into it. Like the next thing we're gonna get into is we're going to get into like Gigi's whole thing and his introduction to the story. I love that character because he's an absolute fucking wild card.
Yeah, I was wondering when that guy's going to pop up.
Pretty much next episode. I think they're ending with introduction to the Subterraneans and all that.
Wait, how many episodes are in this season?
They're saying 12, but I see some people talking about how this is only the first core.
That would make sense.
Mm-hmm. Which would be wild if they got all the way to space globalists in this season.
Yeah, that would be pretty nuts.
Because that is like a huge arc, and lots of good character development in that one. And a slight bit of copyright infringement. Muffler tape!
What's up, bro? We summoned him by you mentioning Tokyo Ghoul.
and Dandadan.
And Dandadan.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a single episode of the series that has felt like a slump when it comes to Dandadan. It's been consistently good with
Yeah, except maybe the one where they're just like keep passing each other in the school. Like when you gotta wait a week, it's like you could, like, I get it, but like when you can binge it, that doesn't matter. You gotta wait a week. That was the weakest episode.
It was, but I still don't feel like it was a slump because maybe it's just my viewpoint of Dandadan specifically because I always look at it like a romance that's wrapped in the skin of a shonen battler.
Well, no, yeah, I agree. I like it. I like the episode. I don't have any problem with the episode. I just say that's probably like the weakest out of all of them. But it's not bad.
What a way to put that, muffler tape. Overwatch tube and hurting my holes. Okay. So yeah, as far as Dandadan goes, I do love it, but I am a simp for ReZero, so it's going to be the top of the list all season. Just I love that series way too much. Bleach though.
Woo!
I do need to talk about Bleach because
dude, all I can say is they did so much better with that freaking I'm just gonna fuck. It's like it came out today, so I don't know if I should spoil it or not.
As far as this episode goes, what I really like about it is one of my favorite characters in Bleach is Kyoraku Shunsui.
Yes, Shunsui.
I love that guy, and like seeing him in action here proves like okay, now I understand why they made him the new head captain.
So, how did you feel in the very beginning of the episode when he got sniped?
I was like, "There's no fucking way that just happened. There's some bullshittery going on."
And then you just hear his voice, and you're like, "Oh, I can't wait for the dub to hear like that." The voice actor for Shunsui and dub is so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to hear him going through that whole spiel where he's got that real chill voice, and he's just like, "Man, you should have Man, you didn't even think about children's games. Weren't you afraid of your own shadow?" Like, you know, like, oh my god, dude! Like,
yeah, but the battle against Paranidia not being over, we talked about that last week. Pretty obvious course of events.
So
somehow I also feel like the conclusion to this whole Lille Boro thing isn't quite as decisive as it wants to say it is.
It's not.
Yeah. Still,
but
what fucking Bankai.
Shunsui's got more up. Dude, he would have, like, that's the reason. Do you remember when, well, did you watch, you didn't watch all of Bleach. You did watch all of Bleach, right?
We have this conversation every time we talk.
Because so many people
I watched Bleach all the way through.
So when he's fighting Coyote Stark, he's about to use Bankai, and Ukitake stops him. And he's like, "Don't use it. Not against him. Not here." So, like, he would have destroyed Stark. But
it's insane.
But he doesn't use it. And there's so many people that were mad. They were like, "Bruh, I want to see his Bankai." But, like, his Bankai is insane. You can't escape it. There is no escape from that Bankai. As soon as you deal damage to him, it starts, and they can't be stopped. Which is insane. And, yo, all I gotta say is, this is my favorite fight.
Yes.
This is one of my favorite fights in the entire manga of all of Bleach. But this fight is up there just because of the way that Shunsui plays it and the fact that Lille Boro is a he's a monster, dude.
Yeah.
Like he's the first Quincy, like the first Stern Ritter to be he's the first Stern Ritter. So like he is a freaking monster. And you haven't even seen like oh my god. But that Bankai is so sick. Now you see why he's like real chill with like a lot of the female characters and stuff. It's because his Bankai is always she's there. Whenever he's using his Zanpakuto, she's there. We just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Like
so as far as Bleach goes, I'm
Yes.
moving it up because that was a fantastic fucking episode.
Dude, it's literally just the animation was spectacular. I was wondering how they were gonna do it from the manga to this. Killed it. Absolutely killed it.
Yeah. Now I can start working my way down the list that we've talked about. Those.
Wait, Muffin Tape said better than OG Sunbreather. Lol. I don't.
I think that's a Demon Slayer reference. So better than Yoriichi. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing some of that shit animated too.
Oh, dude, the rest of from this episode on, Crimson, Bleach is just gonna get so much better.
Well, I'm still waiting for Ichigo to use his new Bankai.
Well, there's quite a few fights that we haven't gotten to yet. Mayuri ain't done with Peronita, and you still have.
Oh, I have no doubt.
And there's still. I also love the fact that, like, Nanao is staying with Shunsui, and how Nemu is staying with Mayuri. And then you're gonna get like all the lieutenants end up like chilling with the captains, like and like the fights get so good. And then you have like there's still Hashwell. There's still the 3 Stern Ritters that are out there.
Yeah, there's Gerard, Askin, and
Uryu.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also the 3 Stern Ritters that were coming up there just to fuck shit up. Basby.
I was about to say Basby, Lele Toto.
Yeah, Lele Toto, and what's it?
Gigi.
Gigi. Yeah.
Weird that there's. If I had a nickel for every time we mentioned a character named Gigi tonight, who's absolutely weird, I'd have 2 nickels.
Yeah.
Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
Yeah, it is weird that it's happened twice. But there's a lot that's about to go down, and you still have like Nell still there, Grimjow's still there. Urahara is just running around. That's all I gotta say. Urahara is doing his thing. Like this, dude. It gets whew.
Yeah. Now, Bleach. I have high hopes for Bleach. There's a reason that I've kept it in the must-watch section for this season because it's been fucking good. So I'm going to start working through some of the rest of these, and it'll mostly just be me talking kind of briefly about some of the things that have happened and a little bit of commentary. So I'll be a villainess who goes down in history. Now, I've said this every time I've talked about an episode of this. I'm not a huge fan of like the Otome game isekais. Generally, they're just not for me. But this one has been a significantly more interesting rendition of it. And we've also gotten into a bit of what I predicted with the quote unquote heroine character possibly being like much more malevolent than she lets on. It's basically shown now that she has the power to control people, to make them do what she wants. It's just down to whether she is consciously or unconsciously using that ability. And I've gotten into a bit of a discussion because I'm in a chat with a guy I've streamed with a couple of times, Biggles Mets, and we were talking about this episode. And I feel like it's not very clear cut as to whether Liz is actually actively using that power to make people target the main character. But one of the other guys in the chat seems to think that the body language indicates it is. Either way, I'm moving it up way closer to the top of interesting because it's doing more of the stuff that I'm particularly interested in. That sort of like reversal of roles from like the villainous character becoming the hero and the heroine character becoming the villainess sort of thing. Shangri-La Frontier finally gave me the episode I was looking for. So normally it is like this fantasy game. They've gone and Sunraku is now playing a different video game called Nephilim Hollow, and it's basically like a VR Gundam simulator. And it has this latest episode finally put it in must watch because Nephilim, that whole episode, even though it's CGI, it works because it's in a video game and it makes sense.
I like the use of that word because the Nephilim were the giants in the Bible.
Yes, well, that's what they're referred to in the game is like giants that fell from the sky and brought about the apocalypse.
Don't bring about the apocalypse, and they tell all the people on Earth how to do things so that they don't die during the apocalypse. But yeah, the Nephilim are fucking nuts.
Yeah, the hype, they really nailed the hype with the fight in this season, in this arc, because Sunraku is now going up against the top multiplayer ranker in the game in a 1v1 duel. And he just proved that his ridiculous fucking build can deal some serious damage if he's not taken seriously. That was how it ends the episode. He basically cuts one of the chick's arms off with a single attack. Like his first attack against her in the entire fight. And it just goes to show that as a character, Sunraku being very strategy oriented and being able to like think through every fight and find like exactly the way to deal with any opponent makes it like I like those fights that focus more on strategy and stuff like that. So the way Shangri-La Frontier breaks down strategy and in fights is great. And the hype behind this one was real. It finally deserves to be in the must-watch category. Honestly, I would recommend that anyone give Shangri-La Frontier a try. I personally do like the dub for this one, although I'm watching it subbed right now. It's not terrible, but I particularly like that the main character is voiced by the same guy who does Sanji in English, and I like his voice acting.
Where can I watch it?
You can probably find it on Crunchyroll.
I'll have to check it out. I have heard about Shangri-La Frontier. I'll have to find it.
Yeah, it really gives me the vibes of just like gaming with friends back when I was 20, when I was 14, back in 2014. So yeah, Shangri-La Frontier moving way up. Dragon Ball Daima, now that it's finally getting the things I actually really enjoy, I am moving way up in the interesting category. Because holy shit, that fight was great. Even though it was short, it was great. And the use of the Super Saiyan transformation and Kamehameha were like spectacularly hype elements. They did really well with that. Especially animating Goku actually attacking the Tamagami. Now, unfortunately, Vegeta still hasn't joined the fray. He's still traveling.
He's Sasuke. He's Sasuke in all of Boruto.
But yeah, this one I have really, really liked. Dragon Ball Daimyo is getting better. Yeah, as time goes on, it's getting better.
Dragon's Balls Daimyo.
Oh god, I don't need the image of Daimyo's Dragon Balls on my fucking mind right now.
I didn't imagine it. That's a you problem.
I'm sorry, I'm familiar with like have you seen like the old like memes of like, oh no, it's Frieza and he's got the Dragon Balls.
Yes, I have.
That's what immediately pops to mind when he says Dragon's Balls. It's bad. But yeah, this episode, it has been consistently getting better, but I've always liked more so just like the fights and stuff, the hype, the fun of Dragon Ball, more so than its story, because the stories have never impressed me. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the most notorious. Do I actually? I think I do want to move these up to the very good category. To be entirely honest, I feel like I have started enjoying them that much. But most notorious talker runs the world's greatest clan. It's one of those synopsis titled anime that you would expect, but this one's purely like, well, it's science fantasy, I guess. Because they have like magitech and all this stuff. They got into a little bit of world building with like the lords and the valiants, like basically like monstrosities of immense power, and how the one that killed Noel's grandfather is still out there, and how he is like sort of actively pursuing it, and he figured that that was like the case, that it was still out there. I expected them to like go in, do their clan registry stuff, and all of it checks out, but no, they ended up getting rejected. So that's presented an interesting opportunity. We've also been introduced to a bunch of new characters who are probably going to be significant players, like the number 2 seeker in the world, who has a very, very sore spot over being considered number 2. And someone that Noel has personally set his sights on, a goody-goody 2 shoes, knight in shining armor character who is leading one of the most prominent B rank parties that's out there. Not that kind of clan, Ronnie. That's for Rolo and Roman, not for me.
I don't think Roman would be allowed. Just saying.
The Black Clan member.
Bro, so on a quick side note, I was at work today and somebody made fun of another person for like how they wrote their K's. And they like wrote it on a fucking fish tank. And like the one dude wrote it, and the other 2 people were like, well, this is how I write mine. And I was like, you gotta erase that. You gotta erase that right now, because it just had 3 K's on like next to each other. I was like, yo.
So that brings to mind a story. Somewhere near where I live, underneath someone's flooring, there's a drawing of a penis that my brother left on the subflooring.
Dude, there's a fucking yo, there's also
I walked in, like I had gone to like use the bathroom or something. I came back to the basement where we were putting in the flooring, and he had taken like one of the hammers we were using to set the flooring, and because it's rubber, it scuffs. And he had marked on the concrete floor the image of a penis. So I'm just like, you better work faster to cover that up so that our boss doesn't find out.
There is also in on the bottom of one of the fish tanks in my store, there is,
oh no,
it says this manager, like I'm not gonna say the manager's name, but he knows it's there and he thinks it's hilarious. It says this manager is gay, and it just has a drawing of a penis, and no one knows who wrote it, but it's there, and it's you'd have to literally like turn your head and go like in between 2 fish tanks to see it, but it's written under there, perfect legible handwriting. So I like to think that one day when the store finally closes and no one's here, they just fucking empty that fish tank and pull it out. It just says, "This guy is gay." Like, There's random shit written in that story.
Mm-hmm. So let's see.
We get up to some fuckery.
Let this grieving soul retire was a bit of a mind fuck this week because, well, it sort of baited me into a conclusion that was, well, you were intended to believe that a certain thing was a certain way, and it turned out not. It also proves that the pink-haired chick, the alchemist chick, is more fucked in the head than anyone else in the series.
Oh, no shit. The alchemist is fucked in the head?
We're not show Tucker fucked, but pretty close. I mean,
I was thinking about the chick from Black Clover.
Oh, yeah. There's that.
Who constantly wants to dissect fucking Asta.
Yeah, but that's not the pink-haired chick. She has black hair.
Yeah, I know, but she's still an alchemy chick.
Okay.
If your chick's into alchemy...
But this chick literally broke into a prison to capture, like, extremely wanted people to use them as parts to make a chimera. She's a horrible person. She's like an absolutely horrible person.
She's pretty... Makima?
I mean, Makima is a horrible person.
Yeah, Makima also took a ton of prisoners that were life prisoners.
No, but yeah, it did not go how I thought it was going to go at all. Like, okay, what an episode. I'm just gonna move it up because
Pilgrim,
I
what
did
does she
enjoy
look like?
Does she look like? She looks like she would peg you. That's what she looks like. And I'm not even kidding about that. So now we're going to talk about Mecha Ude, and it continues to be the action sequences leave a lot to be desired. So does the story. It has continued to shine less brightly with every single episode, particularly because it kind of just like blitzes through action sequences, doesn't really give good story, it doesn't have a good pacing for its story. And characters keep popping in and out of this, like dying and then coming back and then dying again and then coming back. It has been consistently like, oh, this character's dead. No, they're not. Oh, this character's dead. No, they're not. I just feel like at this point there are no stakes. There's no sense of urgency to it. Oh, it could have been so much better, but it's not.
Yo. Chat's on a roll tonight, dude.
And Roman and Caleb is Roman's sixth exception.
No, he got a 6-1 last week. I forget who it was though.
What?
Or 2 weeks, whatever. Not this past week. Like two.
So I know Levi was the fourth. Who's the fifth?
Maybe he's on fifth. Ronnie,
this man just needs to admit that he's bisexual at some point.
That'll never happen.
I am not gay, except in the case of then you're gay. If you would suck a dick, if you would suck a dick, you're gay.
I have relationships with women and sex with men. I got news for you. That means you're gay.
One.
Yes. The answer is one.
The answer is one.
Emperor Palpatine was number one.
And Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, but Palpatine was first. Palpatine was the first exception.
Roman's into them gilfs, except for its grandpas I'd like to fuck.
He's gonna watch this and be like, I'm mad at you, dude. Don't remind them I have exceptions.
How can I not? Like, it's like the incest is wincest joke I made.
Dude, yeah. He wasn't stopping. I Like I had to stop him.
The difference is I knew what I was doing and I
You
did
would've-
it like I was like, you know what? People are gonna think this is weird, but I think it's funny and I gotta make this joke.
Well,
I don't
Chris,
care what happens after that. Roman was dead serious about that. That is the
he kept
funniest part.
going. He kept going with it, and I was like, stop, and he's like, what? No, like, he like, I was like, you're doing this live. I was like, I would make fun of you, but now everyone will. Like, Jesus Christ.
Live for all the internet to see.
Holy
Okay.
shit, Pilgrim.
Fuck. Well, I'm gonna have to re-record all of this the anime breakdown for the night.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fun. I'm just like, oh boy. So just to, like, you know, I'm gonna have to like record this privately anyway, so I might as well just take this down and enjoy the rest of the night.
Holy shit.
Because yeah, I that's actually like something that I'm gonna be like I tend to clip out and put on my channel. I've been wanting to do a little bit more heavy editing for it, so I'll probably just try a much more edited version of it this week to see how well it performs. And we'll leave it at that. Let me see if I can find some of the weird things that I had pulled up earlier.
Roman derailed the conversation. He's not even here. That's fucking wild. That's a meta ability.
Here we go. I found it. So okay. I love like just like the random manga and stuff that come across my feed at times. Because some of them are absolutely like batshit. And I wanna know if you would ever do something like this, Rollo.
That's a loaded question.
Sex streamer couple rom-com Toru ni Taranai Volume 2. Rom-com about a lazy college girl and her junior college mate who's part of the Light Music Club. The boy is hiding his feelings for the girl. To put an end to their broke lifestyle, he offers to start streaming adult videos online together as a quote-unquote couple, and she agrees. Basically, this dude's whoring his crush out to the internet as an OnlyFans girl.
So what were you wondering if I would do?
Would you do OnlyFans with your girl?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Only I get to see her naked.
I'm pretty sure there's a clip out there somewhere on the Rolo Romecast of you saying you would, though.
No, I said I said 100%. She wants to sell pictures of her feet. Cool, go do it.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
I was like, I don't give a shit, but no one's seeing you naked. That's the rule.
I respect that decision.
Bro, no, I'm pretty sure I actually said, I was like, you can just post a picture of yourself as a profile picture, and I'll take pictures of my feet. like
your hairy ass fucking toes.
Yeah, literally. Fuck it.
Oh god.
That makes extra bread. I ain't doing nothing weird with my feet. But yeah, 100%. We're broke as shit. If we're broke as shit, yeah. But you ain't doing no OnlyFans. Fuck that.
Someone's a comment, OnlyFans, and that's it. I'm too drunk for this. I'll come back to comment properly in the morning.
No, yeah. I that's what I admitted to. I'd never like allow my girlfriend to actually do that.
Yeah, I've dabbled in some ecchi stuff, but this is
now
like there's one out there that is like it's literally called Lust Gas, and it really quickly turns into some like weird NTR stuff.
Well, I mean, like being with your girl and she's like in the moment and she's like fucking recorded, I want to watch it later. That's different. That's not going anywhere.
Well, let me just point this out. Destiny Nick Fuentes.
No, I understand that.
That's why I don't care. Don't record yourself having sex because it will leak. I don't care. It will get out there. Or worse, sometime down the line, your kid finds it.
No, it gets deleted. If it's one of those like, this is gonna be so fucking hard to explain. If it's one of those like, and the girl goes, "I want to see what I look like," you do it not to start an argument. And then you're like, all right, but we're deleting it. And then you delete it. Boom, gone. And you don't send it to her. You don't keep it on your phone. It's gone. Done. It's not there. Call it a day. She got what she wanted. Or you put a mirror on your ceiling. Like, like you fucking pick one. I didn't do that though.
Oh, why did I bring up this topic? Because it's funny. That's why. I just some of like the D-Gen manga and stuff that gets turned like that comes across my feed is fucking hilarious sometimes. Like that one, I was just like, who comes up with this? Like Ghost NTR, where a chick basically starts seeing a ghost watching her fuck her husband to the point where she can't enjoy sex unless she's being watched by the ghost. That's a legit manga.
Ghost Cock. Is that the name of the manga?
No, but the dude, from what I understand, the dude ends up getting cucked by the ghost. Muffler tape. Muffler tape. We were talking about one.
That's worse.
About I believe it's "I fucked the world" tree or something. Where basically it's like an isekai where some dude puts his dick in a tree and the tree turns into a person and like NTR's the fucker. It's revenge.
All right, Pilgrim, for your information, I was explaining that I would never record sexual content with my girlfriend and then make money off of that because no one gets to see her naked but me. However, I would post pictures of feet for money. Like, if you're broke, you don't have a job, like, even if she was like, hey, like, it might be a good idea, I can make like this amount of money posting feet pics, I'd be like, just take a picture of my feet. They're fucking disgusting. I bet you someone would be cool with it. Like, they're man feet. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if you see my feet. I don't give a fuck what you do with that.
Oh man.
You don't even know it's anybody. I could literally just take pictures of feet off the internet and post them. Put a sandy beach there.
Oh, what has this episode devolved into? Fuck.
You asked the question. That's the easiest way to make money on it. Like, I would never fucking do it. I'm just saying if the situation arised.
Oh.
No one is seeing my girlfriend and or wife fucking naked except for me.
You were already more respectable than Roman, but that wasn't a hard thing to do. This is just proving it.
Well, that wouldn't. Come on. Sexual interaction with your female counterpart is an intimate thing. That's not for anybody else but you and her.
Wait. So you would fuck your female self?
No.
I honored my client, please, oopsie daisy.
That works.
Yeah, well, maybe don't say it like that next. Your female counterpart. I know what you meant.
You know what
I had to make the joke.
That was a good one. I do plead oopsie daisy.
Yeah, especially after saying if you don't have a dick, don't hit on me.
Fuck you. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
It was this year.
That was a long time ago.
Oh. Ronnie saying that he had to go back and clip stuff has me a little bit worried, but ultimately I don't care.
I think he's talking about what Roman's exceptions. I think he was talking about going back to find those. Because I think we're up to 6 now. He's never gonna escape that, dude.
Well, he keeps adding to them. Just stop.
And then he's like, guys, no. Oh fuck! And he walks out of his room and he comes back in. He's like, shit.
Look, I don't care if you have exceptions. Keep them to yourself. He's working on a video as we speak. Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah, he probably is. It's been a while since he's done it was a while in between his last video and the one he made for my episode 100.
Bro, I still laugh every time I think that he didn't immediately realize that I was Roman's right hand. I literally had to say it to his face to confirm it.
Dude, I just gotta say, again, shout out to Pilgrim for being a savage and just dropping the French baguette 3 times during that video, dude. I was like, yo, that was fucking wild. Shit had me cracking up.
Oh, what a glorious group of fuckwits we have around us.
Yeah,
right?
we really do. We have the best fucking internet. We have the best community on the internet. The fellowship is fire.
Well, I think it's probably about enough for this stream. We're going on 2 hours now. I don't really have any major topics or anything to cover, so let's move to wrap it up. So I didn't mean to pull that up. So
that's what she said.
This is my main channel, Crimson Law. This is where I pretty much do everything. The other place you can find me is Crimson Lawson on Twitter, where I scream into the void and talk about stupid shit all the time. And also interact with indie authors and stuff. So if you want to see anything like comics or movies or stuff like that I've been following, there's that as well. Otherwise, Rolo, what you got?
I said it last week, but I dropped an edit on Rolo_films on Instagram, which is doing kind of good. People seem to be liking it. So go check that out. Other than that, you can find me on Twitter at Rolo Lord, and I will be on the Rolo Rumcast usual time this Wednesday. Last Wednesday, we just decided to take the day off. I had a ton of stuff going on, in my personal life, so it didn't really work out, but that's okay. We figured out, fuck it, it's Thanksgiving week. It's the day before Thanksgiving. We'll just take the day off. So, yeah, we'll be back at it as normal. And I definitely am going to be going over some of this, I almost said Rings of Power, some of this War of the Rohirrim stuff.
Might as well be the same thing at this point.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I think War of the Rohirrim will probably be more enjoyable than Rings of Power.
Oh, definitely, but it'll still have some memeable content. And I do kind of want to see it at AMC so I can try and get that popcorn bucket that's literally just Helm, Hammer, Hands, Hammer, just so I can flip it so you can't see that it says War of the Rohirrim on it. Same thing I did with the freaking Alien, the Alien one. Dude, this thing is a full-size hammer, and it's the same price as the alien head that I have. And I'm like, why would I not just spend $30, get the freaking popcorn bucket? The questioners, I might be able to do that. DM me. I'll see if I could get you one. I'll send you one. If I go to an AMC, I can get 2 of them if they have them.
All right, so that said, probably going to be doing all the usual stuff at the usual times.
I didn't even say what the podcast was. I'm sorry. RG Energy's channel. I completely just saying that. My bad.
Yeah, so you can catch him talking his autistic Lord of the Rings stuff over there. For me, same stuff as per usual. I'm going to drop my weekly chart on Monday. I don't think I'm going to do any gaming streams Sunday because I have some stuff. I owe my brother lunch pretty much, so I have to take him out to eat. Wednesday will be initial impressions, and I finally revised the script I've been working on, and I am moving on with that project. So the video essay on Make Too Many Losing Heroines, particularly one character named Chika Komari, who I thought was particularly compelling, will be coming out next Friday. Hopefully.
I hate losing heroin.
You hate losing your heroin?
I'm kidding.
No, it's a series, and I do highly recommend it if you enjoy stuff like Love is War. It's a really good like rom-com anime. That said, time to sign off for the night because I'm getting a little hot and sweaty with all the lights on me right now. And after all that OnlyFans talk, I need to go bleach my eyeballs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go see if anybody's playing some like Call of Duty or something.
Hibana-chan.